So, man, it's your big brother K-Rino. Look, I want to talk to y'all about something that has to be said. A lot of times people make the mistake, or you might even be making the mistake, of when you have a disagreement with somebody, you don't know how to separate the disagreement from the person you're disagreeing with. And that's a thing that has caused a lot of division in the world. It's caused a lot of division in the country, and it's caused a lot of division within circles of friends and families and co-workers and things of that nature. We have to make it clear and understood that just because I don't agree with you doesn't mean that I hate you. Doesn't mean that I dislike you. Now, in some cases, it could mean that. Some people will tie the person into the philosophy, especially if the philosophy is one that's a negative philosophy, evil philosophy. If you are a low down, dirty, racist, if you are a manipulator, a user, just a scammer, just a person who brings nothing but problems and destruction to other people's lives, and that's your view on it, then absolutely people will merge you into your ways. But we will not. We're not speaking on that aspect. We're speaking on people who two sides who may generally feel like they're right, who may generally have a claim to say, well, man, this is just what I do, and this is my lifestyle, or this is my philosophy, and if you don't like it, then that means you don't like me. That's not always the case. Many of us have friends and family who view life certain ways, who live their life a certain way, and that doesn't take away the love that you have for that friend, that family, but you in no way, shape, or form are gonna rock with how they get down. And the media has perpetuated this division and has capitalized on it to carry out other agendas, to carry out political agendas, to empower certain groups. And some of those groups that have been empowered, they have in turn taken that message and twisted it around and use it to their benefit to say that if you don't agree with me, then you hate me in terms of, in the manner of like hate speech, hate group type of hate, when this new sensitivity way of living has really taken over. The world is like hyper sensitive these days, and there are things that um, could be said and had been said 30, 40 years ago that you better not dare to even think. You better not even dare to joke about in 2021. Otherwise, you will find yourself on the outside looking in of humanity. They will run you out of humanity. Um, but you see it. You see it in religion. A person doesn't believe the same way you believe. You see it in politics. Definitely, you see it in politics because the new trick is to make everything, to make every subject political. Everything. That's the new trick. You got to watch it. You got to watch those who do it at the top because it's a tactic that started at the top, but it's trickled down to the everyday individual like y'all, and some who are not wise enough, or some who are foolish enough to jump on board with that narrative that anything that gets discussed, no matter what it's about, it's put a political spin is put on it. See, that's the problem with this group. That's the problem with that group. You got to be careful with that and keep things where they are. Um, Happens in relationships, happens in every aspect of life. There's going to be disagreement, and the disagreement should not lead to or should not mean that I hate the person or I dislike the person that I'm disagreeing with. Especially if it's somebody that I know and I know their character. When I know your character, I can have a knockdown, drag out argument with you on a particular topic, and me knowing who you really are, I'm of the full understanding that we just happen to disagree on this, and in our disagreement, we got passionate, and our voices being raised, and then all of a sudden, it's seeming like we don't like each other, but in reality, no, it's the total opposite. We can shut that off and get right back on something else, get right back on another topic. You know, that's a level of maturity that many people have and many other people need to grow into. Um, People get real deep into their feelings if somebody poses an alternate view to what they view, and a lot of times that's because at the root of it they are threatened sometimes by the knowledge that they may believe you have, and they feel like whatever foundation it is that they are standing on, they feel like that foundation is in jeopardy because somebody is coming out with something that they perceive might snatch the rug out from under them. If you strong in your foundation, I said this the other day, you shouldn't worry about any um, opposition, any opposing philosophies that enter your brain, into your sights, or into your ears. You shouldn't have no fear of that. You should just, okay, it is what it is, and stand on what you stand on. But don't think because I don't like your lifestyle that I hate you. You know, unless again, reference back what I said earlier. Um, um, we have to be very, very careful with that. There are times where people who deal with addiction, sometimes people are going through drug problems and addiction problems, alcohol problems, and um, we understood who those people were before they took on those problems in their life. And we understood who they are, and we know that underneath all of the issues that they're dealing with, that person that we knew, that we grew to love and respect, that person is still there. Just got to remove the waste that's been added on to them due to a decision, a lifestyle decision that they made that didn't go in order. But also, we got to make sure that we don't condemn those people because we make a mistake sometimes of betraying um, the, uh, the friendship, of the ones that we claim to love and be friends with, um, in the emotion of a disagreement. So, an emotion of a disagreement about one thing, you'll bring up their drug addiction, and y'all weren't even talking about that. In the emotion of disagreement about some other subject, you'll bring up their failed marriages when we wasn't even talking about that. In the disagreement of something about one thing, another thing, we'll bring up their financial problems. Well, that's why you had to get, I had to borrow $1,000 from me, and just these are the lines that we cross, and those are the kind of lines that a lot of times it don't be no coming back from it. Don't be no coming back from that, man. So we got to be very careful to learn how to keep things where they are. Learn how to keep things where they are on both sides, and not be sensitive. Not be sensitive, and not feel like the world hates you because we don't like what you do. Let's grow up, man. All right, man. This is your big brother K-Rino. Y'all leave y'all comments below. Tell me what y'all think about this topic, and anything else y'all want me to touch on. Drop it in the comments section, man. All right, man. This is your big brother K-Rino. Peace.